By far, the number one question is everybody wants to know location. Where would the new fire and police buildings be located? So the general area for the fire building, as you'll see in the next slide, but we won't go to that quite yet, is near the Fort and West Road corridor. With time distance studies, the fire building, if we're going to go from 2 fire stations to 1 fire station, that location in general, not specifically, we're not tearing down Tim Hortons, we're not tearing down the gas station, it's just the general area. It could be several blocks in either direction. But that location will improve response to over 80% of the residents. So that is going to be important. Fire stations are very geographically based where they're located. The police station, it could be located with the fire station if we have a proper footprint to make the property work. But the police station can be located just about anywhere that we can acquire an appropriate footprint. Could it be built in place where the current station is? Yes. Could a different corner, could a different area? Yes. We have a lot more flexibility and a lot more available opportunities with the police station location. One of the little misnomers is building a combination police and fire station is going to save us millions. That's actually not true. There are some savings that can be gathered, but when you need a bigger footprint to be able to put 2 sizable buildings, which would be 40,000 square foot of space, you're going to pay a premium above for that bigger plot of land. So any savings that you might get from a little bit less infrastructure, you can generally expect to cancel out the savings. So it's not overwhelming. That's just not what the building assessment and the experts that have put price tags on us. So that's why it was planned and budgeted for 2 buildings independently. It's the worst case scenario, but don't think that putting the buildings together necessarily is going to be a windfall of savings for the taxpayers. If you want to go to the next slide, sir. So this slide just gives you the general location, not specific. Again, I can't stress that enough because I can't believe how many questions we had about the location. But on the right, it gives you the proposed general location of where the fire station would be. And once again, the current stations, if you look, we have the one up off of King Road. It's on the border of Riverview. Not really well thought out when it was done. It was thought with different ideas out there and everything. And then the original station downtown is where originally the people lived. Everybody lived down in that area. That's where the original couple thousand people said we're going to set up shop, and everybody had to be along the water and everything. But that was 97 years ago. So, but it gives you an idea on the coverage. Chief Anderson did a whole Eastern Michigan study on travel distance and station locations and all that stuff. So we're very comfortable where we got to be with it, and what'll work better for the city going forward.
To add to that as well too, I don't know how well the image is coming up for folks at home, but it is something that we have available on the website. As Dean mentioned, right, Chief Anderson did an entire thesis on station location, response time, things like that. But on the left side, where our current stations are set up with the benchmark of 4 minutes of being when our police officers, firefighters should be arriving at your house in the event of an emergency. If you essentially live west of the Franken Poet Drain or south of Van Horn, you are not in that 4-minute response window right now. With the centralized station at the proposed general location, it does cover, again, all of that territory and certainly much more than the current 4-minute response time around our city. So I think it's important, right, that this wasn't chosen at random or just because it might be the easiest or anything like that. It's certainly for response time, and to improve that to as many folks in the city as we possibly can.